Dolphins fans, what's happening? This is a late stream. It's just going to be it's not going to be very long. It's going to be short. But I wanted to check in on everybody and see how you're all doing. Oh, it's been a roller coaster ride these last couple days. People are losing their minds all over the internet. And I just wanted to stop in, check and see how everybody's evening's doing. Make sure you guys are all okay. It is just football, right? I don't think many people are going to be on tonight. Like I said, it's going to be quick. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the practice, and I wanted to make a couple announcements about some things that I'm going to be doing this next week. So we'll start off with the easy stuff. First of all, this Saturday during the Dolphins-Lions game, I will be streaming the second half of the game. So my stream will start at about 10:30. Be looking for that if you want to join me and come on and let's hang out together and watch the second half of the game. Obviously, will be watching the first half, but I'll be doing other things to the point where I won't be able to live stream. So we'll talk about the game, have a good time, and then after that, let's see, that'll be Tuesday of next week coming up. At the same time, I've been doing my call-in podcasts. I'm going to do a live stream with Curtis from Ace Per Head and with the boys from the 305 Gridiron. They're all going to come over, and we're going to get on here, and we're going to chat Dolphins. I'm assuming it's going to be talking about the Lions game that we would have just finished, and we're going to be talking about the next week of preseason football, the final week of preseason football. My goodness, we're almost there. It's coming up. The regular season football is just around the corner. I know you guys got to be as excited as I am. Holy cow. This is I'm so excited for some regular football. Obviously it's all dark in the background because it's a late night stream. I'm not expecting many people, but thank you to those that did come in here. Make sure to throw a like down, like my few people here, and we'll talk about this practice. Now, they're practices, so people are going to overreact. That's kind of part of this, it's the NFL, so there's going to be overreactions, and then there's going to be people that kind of just like, it is what it is. I'm more of the it is what it is type of variety of person, but what's good, buddy? How's it going, man? Yep, we did, and I'm just going to start talking about that. You're right. Yep, it was good to see today, and this is what he just said was that we responded today, and that's something that's an immeasurable thing, right? You can't really grab a hold of it and be like, look at this, but it's something that we know is there, and it's that attitude thing. You get ran into the dirt in a practice, and then you come out the next day. How do you respond? Well, our beloved Dolphins responded the way that they should have, and you got to be thankful for that. You got to be proud of that. At certain points in this practice, I would say that the Miami Dolphins dominated the Lions. It wasn't the whole practice that they dominated. No, I'm not going to say that. I'm not stupid. The Lions you got to keep in mind that the Lions are, if not the best team in the NFC, they're one of the top 3 teams in the NFC for sure. So we can't be upset with what happened. You play good teams. And if you lose to a good team, then you have to learn how to get better. That's just the way it works. And that's what happened today. They did well. They played well. They had some intensity. They were fired up. There was another fight. I love it. It's good. Well, hey, good to see you, Independent Aquaman. We got a Lions fan here, and he said this: a 15% response is better than a 0% response. I appreciate that your team at least tried to respond because it keeps my Lions humble. From a Lions perspective, I think that's a good thing too. I think that you don't want the Lions to have the easiest, best time during preseason. I mean, that's for sure. You're right there. I think it was more than a 15% response from the Miami today. Miami did a pretty good job of doing so much better in this practice, to the point where, like I said, there was a lot of points where I would say Miami won this practice. If that was something that you could actually do, I would say that Miami actually probably did in a lot of ways. Not the whole thing. I mean, Lions are the Lions. Jared Goff is Jared Goff. Jared Goff is a good quarterback. He's accurate, and he doesn't hang on to the ball too long. He does well. So, like I said, the Lions are one of the best teams in the NFL. And to be able to play – yes, sir. Fandom is fandom. And I'm glad you're here. Thanks for coming in and listening to us, buddy. Appreciate it. And just, for brevity's sake, the Lions are one of those teams in the NFC that I'm always rooting for. So I'm not really an Eagles fan. So definitely the Lions are the team that I'm always pulling for in the NFC. So hopefully this is the year. Hopefully this is the year that you guys get past that hump. I think you guys deserve it. Dan Campbell's a fantastic coach, and I like a lot of the players on your team for sure. And I'm happy to see Hutchinson healthy. That's good. And yes, that's I've noticed. And you know what? No, you're good, man. You're good, independent. And like I said, this is a good point here. Too many Lions fans still unfairly hate golf. And as a Dolphins fan, I can tell you that I completely understand what you're talking about. Can you guess why? It's because if you don't have a Patrick Mahomes on your team, people are going to hate your quarterback. It's what it is. And no matter how good Tua does, there are people, just like there are people who hate Goff, there are people that just absolutely hate Tua, and they'd rather see him get injured or fail miserably than have success. And that's not good fandom. So I understand what you were saying there, Independent Aquaman. Anyway, thanks for coming in, and we'll continue on with the practice. There was a lot of things that happened, and like I said, the Lions didn't get destroyed in this practice, and I'm not going to say that, but the Dolphins did a fantastic thing. Elwood, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you in here. We had a great turnaround today. It was much better. It was something to be proud of. And much bigger improvement. And when my Dolphins are out of it, I do actually cheer for the Lions, and I love Man Campbell. Me too, man. And remember back in the day when he was an assistant with Miami and he got that interim coaching job for the head coach, and the players were just playing for him. That's all it was. It was. I liked him a lot, and a lot of people are like, "Well, we had Dan Campbell. Why didn't we keep him?" Well, even Lions fans can admit that Dan Campbell wasn't the coach that he is now. Back then, he wasn't ready, and Dan Campbell will even admit to it. He's like, I wasn't ready. So it's not as simple as we had Dan Campbell and we let him go. He wasn't the Dan Campbell we have now. Intensity wise, he was putting a helmet on and hitting his players. He was there. He was there for that, but he wasn't the same coach. He wasn't ready. He's ready now. And like I said, I'm glad that he fits well with the Detroit Lions, and I like the work that he does. So. Yeah, I like Man Campbell a lot. So it's hard to call him Dan Campbell when the first time you hear Man Campbell. That needs to be his freaking name. He needs to just change his name. All right. Practice wise, had a couple things happen. I'm gonna get through it here and just kind of read off some things that I picked up off of Twitter. And no, not all of this is Travis Wingfield. A lot of it is a couple of Detroit Lions people, and some of it is other people, Isaiah Smalls and a couple other people. So I'm just going to go through the stuff. I'm not going to read word for word because a lot of the word for word makes it seem better or worse than it actually is. I'm just going to read a couple things that happened. Not going to pretend that things are what they aren't. Okay. Waddle was playing today. That was fantastic news. The first play of 7 on 7s is a great pass from Tua to Jalen Waddle. Then the first two plays were touchdown passes from Tua and 7 on 7s. So like I said, 7 on 7s are kind of because there's no pressure on the quarterback. It's pretty much just routes and defensive backfield receivers and defensive backs. But there are things to glean from it, right? The first two passes were touchdowns, one to Waddle, one to Ezekama. I mean, and these are good things. Bonner had a couple good breakups right off the bat. The opening period for the Lions, the Dolphins shut down in 4 plays. It was fantastic. Zach Wilson came in and had a fastball touchdown to Tariq Black. Great catch going to the ground out the back of the end zone. It's fantastic job. Dotson hit a check down pass on a gain of 2 yards. Hit him as soon as the ball got caught. Pretty much no gain. They gave him 2 yards. Whatever. It's good. Like I said, you're seeing effort, right? You're seeing things happen that aren't normal. Tua to Waddle for another touchdown after that. Basically, the first 3 possessions for our offense, touchdowns, and that's what you want. You want touchdowns in practice or in games. Tua doing things that he doesn't normally do, or sometimes struggles with, and it was nice to see. Manipulating with a pump fake, manipulating corners, bringing safeties to certain places. These are things that you want a high level quarterback to do. Today, Tua was doing it, and that's good to see. Did a pump fake and move people off of Malik over to Eskridge, and it was a touchdown for Malik. So Washington's got in the end zone again. The first little bit of 7-on-7s, Lions offense was taking everything short. They were taking checkdowns, and like I said, I'm not going to make fun of checkdowns because sometimes the checkdown is what you have to do. But last practice, they were just bombing to Amon-Ra St. Brown, and you had to. He was wide open a lot of the time. So having that not happen, that's good to see. So let's see here. Yeah, and I mentioned that on my last live stream that the Lions were missing a lot of players, and that sucks for them. Hopefully, they can get healthy for the beginning of the season. I do hope that. I don't want any player to get hurt. And he says a healthy Tua equals amazing, and I got to agree. A healthy Tua is a pretty nice sight. So, hopefully this can just continue and Tua can actually stay healthy. A lot of people noticed Lions beat writers and Dolphins beat writers all were saying the same thing by this point. They were saying that players on the Dolphins were actually scrapping for the ball in these possessions and stuff when they were going to make tackles. They were ripping at the ball, grabbing at it, trying to get picks the whole day. So it was good to see that. Some effort, some strain, Willie Gay put a nasty hit on a pass catcher. I can't remember who it was, but John Saunders on that same play punched it out for a turnover. It's just heavy work, good, solid effort. That's what we're seeing here. Chop Robinson was in for the first rep of team play, so now we're moving into team play. Chop Robinson came in. It's fantastic to see because everybody was freaking out yesterday. Oh, Chop Robinson got carted off. I even saw some people saying that Chop Robinson was taken off the field in a stretcher. And that's not true. That's one of those things where you see people taking advantage of not being able to have a lot of people see what happened. So they put their own twist on it and present it as fact. And that doesn't make it fact. That makes it freaking stupid. So if anybody is snipe watching my stream right now and you're one of those YouTubers that's making stuff up, you need to chill. Lying about stuff doesn't make you seem cool. It might get you a few clicks, but it doesn't make you any better of a pod or of a YouTuber. That's for sure. And for me, someone who's got 300 freaking subs and nobody, to say that it's sad. You people that have, 20, 30, 10,000 subs, you guys should be doing it better and cleaner than the rest of us. So snap out of it. Gee whiz. All right. Sorry, I got distracted by the stupidity. Injuries have haunted both teams. Yeah, praying we all stay healthy. Yeah, exactly. Me too, man. Hey, Hutchinson had 40 sacks yesterday. I'm going to start saying that. I'm going to make a Twitter post about it. They could be. You're right. They could be elite if they stay healthy and do what they're supposed to do. The front seven, our starters, have the potential to absolutely be destructive and dominant against anybody. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, Patrick Paul was throwing people around today. He was ragdolling people. I mean, granted, any lineman gets a hold of a cornerback, they're going to get thrown, but still, it was good to see. It was good to see. Like I said, all this boils down to all this stuff I'm talking about. This isn't a slight on the Lions. This is about the Miami Dolphins just responding to a little bit of adversity. You have a bad practice. That's what it was. It was a bad practice. It wasn't a bad game. It wasn't a bad regular season game. It wasn't a bad playoff game. It was just it's a bad practice. Low intensity practice. They just could not get it going. They came out at the end of that practice. They talked about it with the media. Everybody was frustrated. They went and had a players only meeting, and they came out today and they were a different team. That's what happened. Let's see here. Britt got in on a couple tackles for behind the line tackles. Patrick Paul had a good ISO rep on Aiden Hutchinson and on a Tua Waddle completion. Stood up Aiden Hutchinson, and that is no easy chore. That's tough to do. Anytime against Aiden Hutchinson, the man is a beast. So it could have been a bad play from him, but it was a good play for our guys. So Patrick Paul, nice job. Jordan Phillips was taking up space today on defense, and that was great to see. Biggers is the same. Biggers and Jordan Phillips are going to be something special. I think those were fantastic draft picks. Whoever was responsible for actually picking those people, Jordan Phillips and Zeke Biggers are going to be something special. We would be fools to get rid of either one of them. Hey, what's up, CB83? Good to see you, brother. Thanks for coming in, man. That's late. I wasn't expecting many people, and here we got a few. It's good. Hutch is different. Yeah, he is. He is a different man. He is a man. Kenneth Grant had a stuff on a couple Gibbs runs and making quick work, throwing off his blocker and getting to the runner. That's what you want for a guy in that position. So fantastic from him. Phillips is from Orlando. My boy trains him. He's a dog. Dude, yeah, no joke. He's good. I like him. And maybe not like the best in the NFL right now, but if he keeps working and playing like he is and improving at the rate that he has been, there's no limit to how good he can be. It's unreal. Yeah, that one of those plays where he threw a cornerback. The cornerback kind of got mad and got up and threw a punch at him, and Patrick Paul just laughed at him and walked away and ended up getting a 15-yard penalty against the cornerback. I wish I knew who that was. I can't remember. But, I mean, it's whatever. It gets a little feisty in these practices. Players have been aching for somebody else to play other than themselves. So the Lions and the Dolphins, both of us, they wanted to get at each other, and they got a chance, and it's good. It's good. Like I said, I have nothing against the Lions. I mean, they're a great team, and I want to play really good teams in preseason. So this is a great op for Miami. Yep, our interior defensive line should be very stout. I'm excited to see it all work out. And one thing I do love to see is, anybody notice that Anthony Weaver is showing a 4-3 defense right now, all through preseason? Anybody notice that? 90% of the time we're running a 4-3. I'll bet you a Buffalo nickel that week 1 we go back to the 3-4. I'll bet. And that's going to be fantastic because nobody is going to know what the hell we're going to do. It's going to be fantastic. So just wanted to mention that real quick. Anthony Weaver is much smarter than some people give him credit for, and I would not be surprised if we run 4-3 for the rest of the preseason and then go straight to a 3-4 as soon as the season starts. There's so many things that we can do with this presentation, so it's good. Now during the team stuff, Tua hit Eskridge for about 30 yards down the middle. It was a nice throw, back shoulder against the defender trailing behind, and it was a good adjustment by D. Eskridge, and he had some great plays today. D. Eskridge has got himself a spot on the team. I can guarantee it. He is night and day from last year. I mean, he wasn't horrible last year, but this year things are really clicking for him. He's put in a lot of work. It shows. Josh, what's up, dude? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Cap, good to see you, brother. Welcome in, buddy. Thanks for coming. As just a quick little live stream, I was just covering a couple things about practice. Wanted to clarify some stuff. But thanks for coming in, guys. I appreciate this. Was not expecting this many people. Oh, man. Yeah, D definitely has the play of the day for sure. Jalen Wright had some physical runs. It was good to see. Good to see. And Patrick Paul, when Jalen Wright would get the ball to run, Patrick Paul was leading the way. Like, you want to talk about what picture perfect blocking downfield. Our linemen were doing it today. It was good to see. And like I said, when I say this stuff, not every play was perfect for Miami, but the effort was there. And because of that, we have things to talk about, positive things. And that's what you need. Cat in the Hat, what's up, brother? How you doing? Good to see you in here, man. Yeah, Patrick Paul throwing people around. Jared Goff Jared Goff just drops dimes. And people are talking smack like, oh, well, he was throwing all over the place yesterday and he threw a lot today. And it's Jared Goff with the best offensive team in the NFL. Like, what do you expect? If you expect perfect defense against a team like that, man, you gotta calm those expectations a little bit. This is a fantastic offensive team that we're practicing with and playing against on Saturday. Jared Goff is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. I said one of, not the best, so everybody chill. But I got to give my flowers when they're due, and those flowers are due. Jared Goff is good. He'd be doing this against any team in the NFL. Even if he's losing a game, he's still going to throw 250, 350 yards. It's because his accuracy is off the charts. So, thanks for coming in, dude. Yeah, he got mussed. No, it was definitely Goff. Yeah. It was definitely Goff with that pass. That was the first one, I think. Yeah, St. Brown is top 10. I would say, and see, this is where people differ from me. I have St. Brown number 6 for wide receivers. I mean, he's good. People don't get it. If you're thinking of St. Brown as a number 2 receiver, you're nuts. He could play number 1 on almost every team in this league. Almost. Like, he's good. So, I mean, we can't be too upset about these good players getting their way sometimes. What you don't want is you don't want it to happen all the time. You don't want zero effort. You want high effort, high intensity. It makes anything possible, and that's what we saw today. We saw a good play from a team that's probably not as good as the Lions, but we did good. Punched them in the mouth a little bit, and that's what you need. And I can bet you that Dan Campbell over there with the Lions is very happy that it happened. Like our Lions fan that's in here right now watching us. He knows. He said he's glad that there was a difference today. And I guarantee you that the Lions are thinking the same thing. Good. Competition is good. And that's what it's about. The Dolphins answered back. And they played. They didn't just fold over. Everybody's complaining about attitude. Well, we saw some good attitude and some good effort today. And that's what we should be looking for. How did we bounce back? How did we answer? We did today. We answered. Not a better team for us to have these practices and games with. Exactly. The Lions are the definition of what football is all about. Love this for our guys, and it can help set this new tone in the locker room. Agreed, 100%. This needs to be highlighted. I'm going to highlight this one. It was perfect. That's exactly what I've been saying. It's so obvious here. And you could look at it like that. I mean, it's practice. This is what needs to happen. Exactly. Yep. So, I mean, you guys take this as encouragement. Like I said, it's practice, so you can't look at some of this stuff and expect, the world. We just can't do that. But we saw a lot of quality work by players today. We even saw Cam Smith laying out a return man short of the 25, making a great tackle open field. I mean, we're seeing a lot of things that are great. We should be happy with this. The Washington brothers were all over the end zone again. Fantastic. Tua had a ton of touchdowns today. Touchdown passes, a bunch, like ridiculous amount. Zach Wilson had a few. I didn't hear much about our rookie quarterback, but other than that, I'm happy with what I saw here. Storm Duck nearly got a pick on Goff. Man, this was a good practice for Miami. You had to expect this. You didn't have to expect this, but you had to hope for this. And that's where I'm at. I love the resilience of how we showed back up and played much better in day 2. Me too. That's the whole point of this stream, just to make that point. Exactly. Shake, what's good, man? How you doing? Man, I feel like a superstar right now. I got Cap in the room. We got Shake Money. Got all these guys that are OG Dolphins guys, man. This is fantastic. Thanks for coming in, guys. Aaron Brewer, he said that he loved to see the attitude today. Malik Washington, this is funny. In the presser for Malik Washington, McDaniel walked by and told Malik to say, Mike McDaniel, he said, say Mike McDaniel inspires me to be great. And then Malik actually said it. It's hilarious. I don't care what anybody says. That's funny. Aaron Brewer was standing there waiting for his presser, and Mike McDaniel walked by and said, Brew, make sure you tell him how sick your individual work was today. That's good to hear, because Brewer missed some practice, right? A bunch of it. So it's really good to see him putting in work and doing a great job. So I'm fantastically happy for Aaron Brewer. He said it felt like we were dominating. It felt like we were competing. The energy was there today, and that's contagious. Bradley Chubb said he felt the team gathered themselves and played Dolphins football today. He said it felt good to have a bad taste in your mouth and be able to come out the next day and rectify it. Absolutely. And you think about these players during games, during regular season, is they have a bad taste in their mouth from a game. They have to wait a week. They got to come out after that bad practice, that horrible practice against the Lions yesterday. They came out today and got to do something about it, and they didn't have to wait very long. So it was fresh in their minds. Good for them. Good that they had a good time. And at the same time, I'm glad that the Lions did things too during this practice, and it wasn't just the Lions didn't even show up today. I'm glad it wasn't that, because that's a waste of a practice. I want competitiveness in these practices and in these preseason games. That's what I want. And you should too, as a Dolphins fan. You should want these things. So, overall, a great day for Miami Dolphins football. As long as Hill doesn't drive too fast in residential areas. Yeah, Hill ain't never gonna mature past that. That's just the way Hill is. Day 1 was a blur because all I could focus on was Chop going out in a cart. That's with my whole day. It did for me too for a couple hours until I saw that post by Chop Robinson saying, "Everybody chill, I'm fine." That was good. As soon as he said that, I felt a little better about it all. Finn's definitely played better today as a Lions fan. Hey, another Lions fan in the building. Thanks for coming in here, guys. I appreciate each of you guys coming in here. You don't have to do this, so thank you. Appreciate that. As a Lions fan, I was happy to see them rebound, but the Finn's showing me as a fan not to worry about our new O-line. We'll see. A lot of our offensive line isn't there right now. Don't get too comfortable. Dolphins aren't going to play the Lions, anytime soon, so I wouldn't worry too much about that, but half of our defensive line isn't there. So we'll see how it goes. You guys do have a beastly offensive line, and there's not much to worry about there for the Lions for sure. Definitely not. Jorge, thanks for coming in, dude. Appreciate it. Yep. I had to make a short about that when I found out that it happened, and it happened pretty quick. So I was like one of the first people that actually put a post out about it, and oh my goodness, if you go on my page and look at the last short that I made, you'll see like I was visibly upset. I was not happy. I was not happy. Yeah, I follow you, Nick. I got you. Yep. So yeah, guys, it was a good day. It was a good day. While you guys are here, make sure you go in there, throw a like down for me, help me out. Got to get that subscriber count up and all of that. I appreciate you guys for coming in here and listening to me yak. I couldn't keep this very long. I got to go to dinner with my wife, and it's going to be a good time. So I just wanted to get on here before that and tell everybody where we're at. We're in a good place. It's not horrible right now. Things are looking up, and that's where you want to be in the preseason. You want to constantly be looking up, not down. So take that practice today as a success. Hopefully the Dolphins do the same and they improve on it Saturday. So I'll see you guys Saturday. I'm going to live stream the second half of the game. I'll be on at about 10:30, so be looking for that. And also, don't forget, next Tuesday at 4:15 p.m. I'm sorry, 8:15 Eastern time. I'll be doing a live stream right here with Curtis from Ace Per Head and with the boys from the 305 Gridiron. So make sure you guys come check that out. It's going to be a fantastic time, good conversation. We're going to talk about the Lions game because that'll be over by then, and we're going to talk about the next preseason game. So I hope to see you guys in there. Thanks for coming and listening. Remember, Dolphins fans, stay hopeful if you can. I know it's not easy all the time, but you can do it. And we'll talk to you guys next time. Have a fantastic evening.